guys, so today I want to talk to you a little bit about this red dot sight that you see here on my Chris SBR. This is the Vortex StrikeFire. This is a red dot sight that's about the same size as the Aimpoint Comp M2, M3, or M4. And if you watched my other review of the Vortex Spark, I really like that sight. That's a micro red dot sight. This is the full-size version, and it's a little bit less on the cost. So this one retails at right around $149 full retail. Full retail on the Spark is $199. So anyway, we're going to take a closer look at this sight. We're going to do a little bit of shooting. I want to address a couple of the issues that you guys raised regarding the Spark and do a little bit of an accuracy test. So let's get shooting. So let's talk about some of the features of the Vortex StrikeFire. First of all, it's a 30mm tube. This is a standard tube size, so all the mounting hardware options that are available for the Aimpoint series of sights like the Comp M2, 3, and 4 also work with this sight. The dimensions are similar as well to the Aimpoint series of sights. It also comes with these lens covers with the sight in the box, as well as this mounting hardware that you see here. So everything you need to get up and running comes in the box, including the battery. And the battery is just a standard CR2 battery that goes in this compartment. It unscrews, it's O-ring sealed, and the manufacturer claims that the sight itself is actually waterproof. They just don't give a depth rating. The sight has both a red dot and a green dot option, which is selectable from the switch here on the side, and the dot itself is 4 MOA. It also has elevation and windage adjustments, which are 1/2 MOA adjustments, and they can be accomplished here underneath this elevation knob I'm going to show you here in a second. It's click adjustable. The clicks are very positive, and the sight's very easy to actually get zeroed. The sight's also nitrogen filled, so it's moisture and fog proof, and it's also shock proof. They've tested this sight with 1,000 rounds of 375 H&H Magnum. So this sight can take a little bit of a beating. Now, is it as durable as a Comp M2 or M3 or M4? I can't really say. I'm not going to beat on this sight that much, but it certainly seems to be a very rugged and well-built sight. Let's do a little bit of shooting. So let's do a little bit of shooting with the Vortex StrikeFire. I have a target at about 20 yards, and I'm going to go ahead and shoot off a few rounds and show you how well the sight holds zero. Let's walk down range and take a look at the target. So at 20 yards, a few rounds fired, seems to hold zero pretty well. Shooting offhand, kind of rapid fire. Now, one of the things that the manufacturer talks about is that the sight is parallax free just past 50 yards. Anything within 50 yards, there can be up to 1 inch of an impact shift depending on how you look through the sight. And when I say that, if you're looking through the sight and you have the dot perfectly centered, you shouldn't have any issue. But if you pull the sight up very quickly and have the dot off to one side but on the target, you might experience up to 1 inch of shift. Let's test that theory really quick. So here we are, and this is the second group that I fired. The first group, as you can see, was pretty much centered, maybe just off to the right ever so slightly. Or probably this group shifted 3/4 of an inch or so at about 20 yards. And what I was doing is, if this is the lens, I had the dot on the far left side of the lens. I didn't have the dot centered in the lens, and then I put the dot on this zero. That caused the bullet impact to shift ever so slightly to the right, a little less than an inch at 20 yards. So there is a parallax to be concerned with. If you don't get the dot centered in the lens, it'll cause that shift to occur. Anything past 50 yards, this shift shouldn't occur according to the manufacturer. So let's go back and talk about some final thoughts. Real quickly, let me talk about the controls of this sight before I get into the final thoughts. The controls over here on the left-hand side of the sight. This is your power button, and it also selects the color of the dot, red or green. You just touch that button, that turns the sight on. You touch it again, they'll change the colors. If you hold it for 4 or 5 seconds, that'll actually turn the sight off. You have 2 brightness adjustments. At the top, it increases brightness. At the bottom, it decreases brightness. And then this is a night vision setting. You hit this and it dims the dot so that you can use it with night vision optics. Now, the only complaint that I really have about that button is that if you hit that button inadvertently, it will dim that dot, and you might mistake the sight for being off, and you'll sit there and mess with your power switch thinking that your sight's off or the battery's dead, and it's not. All you have to do is hit that night vision button, and poof, your red dot, green dot actually comes back. Anyway, some final thoughts on this sight. First of all, I got this sight from 3 Rivers Precision, and Brian is a great guy. He's running a special right now. If you use the promotion code MACSTRIKE, all one word, you can actually get this sight at a very special price. This sight is worth the money in my opinion. At a full retail of $149, it's really kind of hard to beat. If you're looking for a cost-effective sight to put onto a rifle for CQB, you ought to consider the StrikeFire. It's a very good sight for the money, I believe. Now, I did get this sight wet. I dunked it in a little bit of water. I was washing some mud off of it. I was dropping the sight on the ground trying to get it to lose zero, and it didn't. And I didn't have any problems with the moisture getting into the sight and causing the electronics any problems, so it does seem that the sight is actually waterproof to a certain point. Anyway, if you're in the market for one of these, give Brian at 3 Rivers Precision a call. If you have any questions about this sight, feel free to ask those questions here on our YouTube channel, or even better, contact us on Facebook. And you can find us on Facebook at www.facebook.com/military arms. As always, everybody, thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys soon.